Welcome back for another video. The third batch of the official FPL price reveals are out, along with more surprises. I'm already seeing how I want to structure my team, so at the end of this video I'll share a draft that I've come up with, which already looks like a very strong team for Gameweek 1. If you missed either of the previous two price reveal videos, both will be on screen at the end. Hit subscribe so you don't miss all future content, and don't forget to like the video. Starting with Chelsea, who came with many surprises. The cheaper keeper trend continues and Mendy will set you back only 5 mil, despite finishing last season at 6.1 mil. We saw Alisson discounted to 5.5 mil, and he also finished last season at 6.1, and he was the top scoring keeper in the game. So in a nutshell, we're spoiled for choice as far as the keepers go. Despite Mendy's generous price, Chilwell and James for 6 mil excellent value, and many of us had them predicted at 6.5 mil. Chilwell only started in 6 matches last season, however no player scored higher than his 7.9 points per match. The choice between him and James is a tough one, they were both terrific last season. Chilwell ended with 3 goals and an assist, and James with 5 goals and 9 assists. Considering Chilwell's relatively recent return from a long-term injury, James just about edges it for me, and he has shown versatility to play in right centre-back. Although right centre-back doesn't necessarily translate to more FPL points, they have lost Christensen and Rudiger this window, so his minutes could look better than they did last season, where he was frustrating at times with rotation. You'll absolutely want to have one of the two wing-backs in your Gameweek 1 draft, considering the fixtures on screen. In honesty, the double-up looks very good too. Mount comes in at 8 mil as predicted, and a great option too. There's quite a few players at that price point, such as Saka, Diaz and Bowen, so at least one in your team makes a lot of sense, as you can easily hop elsewhere if required. Elsewhere, Havertz has been reclassified as a forward, as we also suspected, but he will set you back 8 mil, down from 8.5 mil last season. Lukaku has returned to Inter on loan, so if Havertz is Chelsea's first choice striker, don't rule him out as an option either. There's an abundance of midfielders, but few eye-catching forwards so far. On to West Ham, and new signing Aguerd comes in at 5 mil, as does Cresswell. Therefore Cresswell is a logical pick with his attacking potential. 2 goals and 4 assists last season, and 11 assists the season before. Southampton also gets a discount, only 4.5 mil, and also plenty of threat. Last season Cresswell scored 3.7 points per game, while Southampton scored 2.5. Johnson is a promising talent, and should mainly compete for right back, which is something to consider. The big West Ham reveal was Bowen, who comes in at a surprising 8.5 mil, and Antonio for 7.5 mil. It was a brilliant season for Bowen with 12 goals and 17 assists, 206 points. But it's difficult to look beyond the premium defenders for cheaper. For example, the past 4 seasons, Trent's average score was 190 points. Bowen sets you back 1 mil more, and there's no guarantee that he'll be able to replicate the form, while Trent, Robertson, etc. have shown the consistency. With Man City in Gameweek 1 and Spurs in Gameweek 5, he might be one to consider only if he explodes against Man City before he faces Forest in Gameweek 2. Antonio's in a similar boat, but 7.5 is a tall ask and one to avoid initially. If you enjoy the price reveal analysis videos, please drop this one a like and hit subscribe so you don't miss future content to come. That brings us to Newcastle. In goal, Pope for 5 mil is very disappointing, considering you can get the likes of Mendy, Ramsdale and Sarr for the same price. Likewise, for the same price you can get Trippier, who's definitely one on the watch list at that price. If you can pick up a defender to rotate with him in Gameweek 3 and Gameweek 5, he is a great option, otherwise wait until Gameweek 6 when their fixtures turn favourably. Shaw and Burns are another couple of decent enablers, but in my eyes for 4.5 mil, White, Tomiyasu, Dunk, Ain't Nori and Henry look better. St Maximin has been reclassified as a midfielder, which is good news, and his price remains the same. New signing Bruno Guimaraes looks more tempting for cheaper, especially considering the impact he had when he arrived in January. Since making his debut, he led Newcastle for shots, shots in the box, big chances and shots on target. Again, considering the fixtures, he's one to keep on the watch list in all likelihood, but a really great price and an excellent player. Willock never really got going last season, but if you can string together some starts, he'd be an outstanding option for 5 mil. Back in the 2021 season, many will recall his run of scoring in 6 consecutive games, so another one for the watch list for now. Wilson could be a great pick for the opening 2 games before a transfer to an alternative mid-price forward. However, it's not ideal to book in transfers. Newcastle did sorely miss Wilson when he was injured for much of last season. A quick look at Southampton before the Gameweek 1 draft. New goalkeeper signing Bazunu comes in at 4.5 mil. The most eye-catching here though is Walker Peters, who's also 4.5 mil, a price cut from 5 mil. There's an ever-growing list of great 4.5 mil defender options, and we're really spoiled for choice this season. Ward-Prowse was Southampton's top scoring player again last season with 159 points from 10 goals and 5 assists, which was his best ever score, and he remains at 6.5 mil. Stuart Armstrong's a surprise for only 5 mil, and equally surprisingly Romero comes in at 5 mil. Armstrong has attacking returns in him, and he's another one alongside Willock for 5 mil who could emerge as excellent picks further down the line. Up top, Adams comes in at 6.5 mil and one to avoid. In my eyes, 6 mil would have made him a real option, but he's too pricey for 6.5. Onto the draft. So far, 165 players have been revealed to us, so we're in a position to start tinkering. This is of course an early draft and will no doubt change, but team structure is a good talking point to cover. Big at the back will undoubtedly be the way to go in Gameweek 1. Surprisingly, it's possible to fit in 3 premium defenders along with 2 premium attackers in Salah and Haaland. I really like the Trent and Robertson double up and the Chilwell plus James double up. Alternatively, one of Trent, Cancelo and James also looks great. In this draft, White could be any 4.5mm defender, and you'd likely start them ahead of Mitrovic, who faces Liverpool in Gameweek 1. Mitrovic came in at 6.5mm and he scored 43 goals in 44 appearances last season in the Championship, which was a record. He struggled in the Premier League previously, so it's a question of whether he can finally step up or not. Mount costs the same as Saka and Diaz, so he's an easy swap in for either. Neto for 5.5mm has already been on the score sheet in pre-season too. We're still yet to find out Son and Kane's prices, which could change things, but it's hard to look beyond Salah and one of KDB and Haaland. I read all comments, so let me know your thoughts below, and please also remember to like the video and subscribe for future content. See you soon for the next one.